Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Wednesday, December 9th, 2009. This morning I thought we'd take a look at using COM in VisualWorks, and to do that we're going to try to connect ourselves up to iTunes. So the first thing you need to do is go to the Parcel Manager, and once that comes up, since we're talking about COM, we go to OS Windows, since this is obviously Windows specific, and we hit Load. Now this load takes a moment. Okay, once that's in, you can close this. We don't need to load anything else for now. And it turns out there's an interesting little tool that ships with VisualWorks 7.7 called the Automation Class Browser. So what we're going to do is browse the automation classes. And what this brings up is a standard looking browser, but instead of a browser over Smalltalk code, it's a browser over automation classes. Now this is Windows 7, so there's a bunch of stuff in here. One I'm interested in is iTunes. So we're going to select that. And we're going to scroll down to the iTunes application itself. And it turns out that what you can do is right click on this class and do a create and inspect. And right here what this will give you is a little inspector over the interface itself. Now before I go any further, let me go ahead and bring iTunes into the view so you can see what's happening. Now you won't be able to hear anything. So I've got my iTunes library here. This is from another machine on my network, but I've got this song selected, Astronomy by Blue Oyster Cult. And what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and we're going to just type in self play and do a do-it, because play is one of the interfaces. It's going to tell me it doesn't know that because obviously there's no Smalltalk code for that, but we'll hit proceed. And if you come over here, you'll notice that now it's playing. And what I'm going to do is just hit self next track, and that should skip to the next track. And again, it's going to warn me because obviously no Smalltalk code. And now you see it's skipped over to Godzilla. And then finally what we'll do is we'll do a stop. And it's again going to warn me that this message doesn't exist either. We'll just skip past that. So, in any case, that is how you can explore the interface in COM. But the more interesting question you get into now is, okay, that's fine, I can explore that, but that doesn't help me much in code. What if I want to put this into an application to allow me to drive iTunes or some other thing that's accessible via COM interface? Well, what you can do is you can explore this and figure out what the interfaces do. So I'm going to close this. And what I'm going to do is move this out of the way, and I'm going to open up a little workspace that I created a few minutes ago. So here's com-itunes.ws, something I created a few moments ago. And what I'm going to do is make this a little bigger and move it up so we can see more of it. And what you're going to do is we're going to go to the COM registry interface and the type library and its associations, because it returns a dictionary. So if I just inspect that, what you're going to see is it's going to bring back something very similar to that browser interface, only in a less intelligent looking format. So I have this GUID, and then this is the fax controller. So if I scrolled through here, I'd find everything that I found in the other browser. But once I can do that, I can go through and let's say I want to find the one that matches iTunes. So I'm going to just get the reference to the iTunes one by doing a string match. And that should bring me back this reference. And if I look at that, it's again an inspector on a little association, a key value pair. I really want the value, so I'm going to go ahead and ask if the reference isn't nil, go ahead and give me the value. And now once I've got that, I can go in and get all the type descriptions. I want to find the iTunes app itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get that, and I'm going to grab the GUID as well, because the GUID is how I am going to be able to grab the thing. So if I look at this, it should be a big hairy number. So there it is. It's the GUID object, so I'm going to get rid of that. And now I want to get the driver itself so that I can do the same things that I was doing in that inspector object. So I'm going to get the driver by asking the advanced dispatch driver to create an instance on that GUID. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this code. And that should give me a driver. Now let's inspect the driver and see what that is. If I move that into the view, you see that this is an iTunes object. I have all of these interfaces that I was looking at in the browser before. And now I can do things like this. So let's move iTunes back where you can see it. And it's currently got Godzilla selected, so let's hit play. We'll do a do-it. And again, this is going to warn me. But if I come over here, now you can see it's playing. And if I hit next track, you can see that over here it's skipped to Golden Age of Leather, which is another Blue Oyster Cult song. And finally, if I hit stop, I can hit do it, and there it is, it's stopped. So I can control any arbitrary COM interface from Smalltalk code by grabbing the actual driver and then sending commands through to it. So if I wanted to, I could write an application that has this kind of thing embedded in it, and I could control iTunes or any other COM accessible thing, a PDF viewer, Word for Windows, Excel, whatever. So anything that's got a COM interface, you can go ahead and grab this way and execute with. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this code that I put here and include it in the screencast post so that you can copy it, since following along in the video might be a little difficult with something this involved looking. So you should be able to grab that straight out of the post and play with it to your heart's content. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.